Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of
Against all odds, next
Blacksad.
morning I got a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Okay, let me just pause here for one quick second, because in contrast to many of the games that we play, Blacksad seems to benefit from at least a brief story recap. The story so far is that a character named Joe Dunn was found hanged inside the gym that he owned and operated, where he was prepping a fighter named Bobby Yale to participate in a big upcoming boxing match at Madison Square Garden. You might notice as we go on that there is very little reference in this story to the fact that they are animals, except perhaps to sometimes identify one character versus another. Joe Dunn was found hanged. Bobby Yale went missing, and through some detective work, Detective John Blacksad was able to locate Bobby Yale at the house of his secret aunts. Mary is the waitress who worked nearby, and also the cleaning lady who worked at the gym, who was also involved in a very low-key romantic affair with Joe Dunn. And when she showed up one morning to presumably start cleaning, it's possible that they had a rendezvous arranged. She was the one that found the body. Bobby Yale ran away. Perhaps, actually, do we know why Bobby ran away? I'm not sure that he clarified. We might have missed that bit of dialogue. My thought would be that he had run away because he was concerned about being blamed for the murder after he and Joe Dunn had a loud argument there in the gym. We feel, both us and Blacksad feel very, very strongly that Bobby Yale had nothing to do with the murder, nor did Mary, nor did O'Leary, who was a loan shark that was taking bets on the fight, but who had personally bet very, very heavily on Bobby Yale to the tune of about $5,000, which in this 1940s era was a vast sum of money. So we have so far a long list of people who are not responsible for the murder of Joe Dunn, but what we don't know is who might be. So based on the backdrop that we see here, I believe that Blacksad has come to interview the former girlfriend of O'Leary and current girlfriend of Bobby Yale's boxing opponent, a character named Stone, and this is the famous tennist who is the girlfriend of the guy that Bobby Yale is going to fight. There's also a walrus character named Frank Connolly, I think, who is Stone's manager, who we've seen sort of lurking around but have not actually had a conversation with. And hopefully with that very quick story recap, we will now proceed with episode 3 of Blacksad.
And I had my kind, unknown assailants to thank.
Al Stone.
The beating had taken its toll, but for the first time in months, I had slept like a baby.
Oh, come on, Helen, focus! All right, take 5. We'll work on that double backhand later.
Well, Mr. Blackmore, what can I do for the FBI?
Well, let's go with relaxing flattery first. I don't know why he's suddenly posing in as an FBI agent.
What every blue-blooded American should do. Ride the wave of success, on a global scale if possible.
Yeah, sure. We have to beat those commies on every battlefield, be it in Korea, a clay court, or Wimbledon.
But that's not what you mean, right?
We have reason to believe that O'Leary has been
Maybe if we could speak in private?
blackmailing
Alec!
Coming!
blackmailing Al Stone with threats of ruining.
You've got 4 minutes, Mr. Blackmore, so... make them count.
Helen's tennis career. Oh, that was a nice little reset. Let's see. We don't have reason to believe that it's a fake relationship. let's start off light. We're going to ask her about O'Leary.
We know about you and Desmond O'Leary.
Wow, the FBI sure knows what it's doing. So, out of the 100 million Americans who know about that, who did you extort to get such highly confidential information?
The thing is, well,
You see, I'd love to wipe out that part of my past, but whatever.
do you have any regrets?
Ads pay more than trophies. Can you believe it? Being associated with such a shady character could only damage my reputation.
Hello
Trust
to Moo.
me, never get involved with a married man.
Sorry, I wasn't sure whether it would be. Hello to Moo. I hope that you're doing well and had a nice Tuesday. The week has been long, and I have to say that I'm not feeling at my very best, but hopefully we'll have some good detective fun here. So, she was unimpressed with our commentary on her ex-boyfriend. Why don't we go into the rigged games? Because one thing that we learned during the last episode is that O'Leary really kickstarted her tennis career by rigging the matches so that she would win. Now, it is worth noting, she is actually a very, very skilled tennist because she continued to win, I believe is now undefeated, even after he stopped rigging the games. But it is surely something that she does not want to come to light, and we believe that O'Leary is in the process of blackmailing her and or her boyfriend Stone regarding the upcoming fight.
We're aware of at least 6 rigged games during your first year as a professional player.
And?
You won all of them.
Are you trying to offend me? I give my all on the court. I can't be held accountable if my rivals don't do the same. Go interrogate them. In any case, now I know why you mentioned O'Leary.
Now, the only thing I don't know is the contraband comment. I don't know what that reference is. Maybe we can throw her off, make her unsettled a little bit if we talk about her relationship with Stone being fake. I don't know that I do believe that it's fake, but it wouldn't hurt to ask. It might
They
hurt a
say
lot.
you're currently involved with Al Stone, the boxer. Is that correct?
Wow, your sagacity never ceases to amaze me.
Don't beat around the bush. We know why you're with him.
Oh, so you like his biceps too?
Desmond O'Leary asked you to seduce Stone. Why?
What? No, I met Al by chance at a party. A party hosted by Desmond O'Leary. No, that can't be. No one is that shrewd. Not even him. Damn, I hate that bastard. Anyway, now I get why you brought up the rigged games and your obsession with O'Leary. What do you really have against him? And don't say illegal gambling.
Oh, this is timed. Gambling. It's only gambling, though.
Illegal gambling.
I see you don't want to tell me.
I'm serious, Miss Moore. America can't afford to let anyone shake its foundations like that. And America's sweetheart can't afford it either. Help us out. Talk to us.
And why should I, Mr. Blackmore? What do I stand to gain or lose?
The FBI always returns a favor.
Oh yeah? Are they gonna rig my games? This is actually quite simple.
Moo is saying that it's been a rough week getting back into the work schedule with the kids resisting school. Yes, I don't know so much from the kids' perspective, but the getting back into work is a real thing. I loved you now and forever. Does Moore hate O'Leary? Helen Moore carries a cigarette case bearing a romantic inscription. Now, it could come from Stone. It doesn't have to come from O'Leary. Okay, but we already looked at this, unless there's... Nope, there's something else here.
One lucky gal.
Nope, that's O'Leary.
You have a light, sir?
Okay, we've got one more thing to look at.
The pearly white teeth of someone who barely smokes. Am I making her nervous? Damn. I'm almost out of fluid.
Wanna know my trick? Go down to start, then up with it, and then down again.
Oh.
Will I get to smoke today?
Wait, what? What? Hold on.
Almost.
Down. Up. Down.
Thanks.
Time out just for 1 second. Moo is saying that she's waiting for her 10-year-old to see this game and demand to play it. He loves cats. Be aware that there is some content in this game, and I should probably bring this up to anybody who might stumble in here as their first episode. There's some content in this game that is surprisingly direct on the topics of both American human racism and also some sort of generalized misogyny sort of running throughout the game, both of which appear to be simply an appeal to the time period in which it takes place. And the main character, the primary protagonist here that you see, Blacksad, is very much not about those things. So I do not feel like the game is at any point endorsing those ideas, simply acknowledging that they were major parts of the culture back when this came out. But I would recommend looking at the game yourself. You know your kids and what they are ready to handle or not. I can say that the 10-year-old I know would be bored to tears by this because it doesn't include non-stop explosions. But I do very much enjoy the art style.
I don't know what you want me to say. You're trying to frame O'Leary, perhaps rightfully so, but I think you're barking up the wrong tree. Believe me, if I had the slightest...
Come on, Helen. Time to work on your backhand. Let's go.
Do you smoke? Nice meeting you, Mr. Blackmore. Did you bring my water?
Moo saying that her son is very much about playing any game or every game for 5 minutes and then sort of losing interest. Again, a behavior that I know very well. I'm also very sorry to hear about the cat that you had to put to sleep.
America's sweetheart gave you her cigarette? Dear God, she has the hots for you. I can't believe you said good old Weekly to investigate that stupid walrus while you were hanging out with Helen Moore herself. So, what do you say, you and me, we change places next time, huh?
Your turn. Now tell me, what did you find out?
You're gonna love this. You ready? I've got news, but I happen to also have a
Blacksad.
He's off with that whore, isn't he?
What? Who is... Oh, Mrs. Colbert.
I told him I knew all about it. You know, after our chat, he cried and asked me to forgive him. He said he was gonna leave her, that he loved me, and it was over. But last night he got a phone call. He said he had to work, and he still hasn't come back. Nobody's seen him at work since yesterday evening. He left with her, didn't he? Tell me the truth. I can handle it.
So I don't think he's coming home, but...
Well, it's too soon to worry. I'm sure he'll be back.
You think so?
Maybe he just needs some time. Be patient. He'll come back.
When he does, I'm gonna scratch his eyes out. I'm gonna tear that stupid head right off.
So Colbert cheated on his wife with his boss's wife.
But what just happened? Is there anything you didn't tell me?
Maybe. But now it's your turn. Tell me about Cassidy. Come on, spit it out.
I didn't find anything suggesting that Cassidy had anything to do with Dunn's murder, but
That's quite the tale.
I know Cassidy will be playing poker tonight with one Howard M. Farnham II, a Texas tycoon looking to get his claws on the boxing business. I also know that he and Cassidy have never met in person, and that Farnham, who's staying, at the Balford Hotel hasn't left his room. Apparently, he spent the night with 3 bottles of bourbon. So, here's my incredible plan. I'll go to the hotel, I'd knock him out, and then take his place in the poker game. That way, I'll get Cassidy talking. What do you think? Incredible, right?
Didn't we agree that you would handle Helen Moore while I dealt with Cassidy next time? No?
Moog, happy to see the wall of text. We've had to put down some pets here and there over the years when their health reached a point that they were no longer enjoying a good life, and it's always very sad. One thing that helps me at least is to, remember that they had a good, warm, happy life for as long as it ran, and not every animal gets to have that experience. So, if they lived a good life, then it's still something to celebrate. That's the way that I tend to think about it.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farnham.
What's going on?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm John Blackmore, director of the Balford Hotel. We'd like to make our distinguished guests feel welcome. Please accept this small token of our appreciation.
Oh, sure. I was fixing to leave, but I guess them monuments ain't going anywhere. Well, come on in then.
Getting in Farnham's room was easy. Earning his trust was another story. I always have an ace up my sleeve.
Blackmore, you okay, partner?
The best way to earn someone's trust is to make them believe they've earned yours. And sometimes, the best way to fake it is to tell the truth. I don't know where to begin.
Oh boy, all of these seem like a lot to dump on someone that you're meeting for the first time. Okay, we didn't rat out anybody. No, we didn't rat out anybody. The world is falling to pieces and so am I. They killed my girl and I can't forget her. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking our goal is. We want to get that guy super drunk. So the way to do that is to sort of connect through our shared grief or sadness. So we're going to go with B.
They killed my girlfriend. And no matter how hard I try, I just can't let go.
Those bastards paid for what they done to you, boy.
They paid.
Well, good. Honor's being restored, and sure enough, our good Lord will see to it that they burn in hell. You need to move on, partner. Plenty of lookers out there. Find yourself a charming lady friend, even if it costs you a pretty penny.
One of the tricks of this trade is to be wary of the biases we all have. They cloud our judgment and blur the person in front of us, painting them with the shades of our preconceived notions of who they should be. But every once in a while, you run into someone so locked in personality that they can only be regarded as a stereotype. Farnham was a disgrace, not only to himself, but to Texas and the entire human race. To think I had to impersonate him. I wish I was like you. You seem so content, so free of burdens.
Stop right there, partner. You think this old dog don't have ticks? Let me tell you something about my first wife. Woo-wee!
Once I had gained Farnham's trust, the hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him and not get myself killed.
I have some deep concerns about my ability to not get killed here.
What can I do for you, sir? I'm here to play me some poker. You got the wrong place, sir. Did you miss the barbershop sign above the door? You have a good evening, sir. Wait,
Just immediately. Moo is saying it's that they started with 4 cats years ago, and she was the last one remaining, almost 18 years. Got her when both Moo and Groomfy first moved in together. So it's kind of like saying goodbye to that part of our lives and acknowledging that they're getting older. Yeah, that is one thing. I remember very distinctly going through high school and realizing that the thing that nobody told you about high school is that the childhood pets that you and your friends had growing up, that's, high school and college is around the time that a lot of them will start to pass away. And there were a lot of sad days back then, and it was, as you say, kind of a marking of the passage of time that these friends that had been with us throughout childhood were no longer going to be there as we ourselves exited childhood and moved on to, sort of the rigors of adulthood. So it's, yeah, pets mark important times in our lives for sure.
The hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him and not get myself killed.
And also, as Moo says, that Blacksad is like her walking and dumping on something. Yeah, he came to a lot of really harsh... Uh-oh. So, you're not failing to see something. There is nothing to see here.
what can I do for you, sir?
So, it's worth noting that we had some difficulty getting in...
I'm afraid I'm no mind reader.
Oh.
You have a good evening.
Oh,
sir.
Cool.
Wait,
I take no responsibility for that loss. It took a couple tries to get into the game today, such that we weren't entirely sure that it was going to load. It would go up and just start...
The hard part was
Come
deciding
on,
what
man.
I needed to know to become him and not get myself killed.
Okay, so I cannot pause it. I cannot take any action. We're going to have to try to reset here. So everybody just hold tight for 1 second. All right, this music is going to be loud. Regrettably, this music at this time, I actually really like the opening theme song, but it is not something that respects the volume settings that we've set up, so it may come in a little bit hot and then suddenly drop off by quite a bit. Yeah, when we were trying to get set up here for episode 3, it was doing this spinning thing and then not ever progressing. It looks like it's going to this time. You just saw it hitch a little bit. All right, let's see if we can get back in here. We had no technical problems with this game at all through episodes 1 and 2. The controls are a little bit stiff, but in a way that, mostly communicates its background as an indie game, not in a way that struck me as being technical problems. But this is a couple sort of rough spots all in a row. What is happening here? Oh, tell me we have to have this conversation with Weekly again. Yikes. Moo just asked, is it a French game? No, that's what I thought as well, but according to one of our viewers, Marquack, he looked it up and it's from a developer out of Madrid. Okay, so we don't have to do the conversation with Weekly, we do have to have the conversation with Farnham again. And hello to Zerter, sorry. Zerter, I hope that you also had a good Tuesday. We're going to try to get through this. I do not know if there's any option to skip dialogue. I kind of suspect that there isn't.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farnham.
What's going on?
Allow me to introduce myself.
No, we're
I'm
gonna try
John
to
Blackmore, director of the Balford Hotel.
we're trying to
We'd
make
like
the
to make our
same
distinguished guests feel
choices
welcome.
that we did last
Please accept
time.
this small token of our appreciation.
Oh, sure. I was fixing to leave, but I guess them monuments ain't going anywhere. Well, come on in then.
Getting in Farnham's room was easy. Earning his trust was another story.
Moo is also quoting
always
one of the
have an ace
lines
up
that
my sleeve.
Blacksad is going to have here in a moment, and yeah,
Blackmore?
some
You
of
okay,
the
partner?
writing
The best
is
way to earn someone's trust
pretty
is to
sharp.
make them believe they've earned yours. And sometimes the best way to fake it is to tell the truth. I don't know where to begin. They killed my girlfriend. And no matter how hard I try, I just can't let go.
Those bastards paid for what they done to you, boy.
They paid.
Well, good. Honor's being restored, and sure enough, our good Lord will see to it that they burn in hell. You need to move on, partner. Plenty of lookers out there. Find yourself a charming lady friend, even if it costs you a pretty penny.
One of the tricks of this trade is to be wary of the biases we all have. They cloud our judgment and blur the person in front of us, painting them with the shades of our preconceived notions of who they should be. But every once in a while, you run into someone so locked in personality that they can only be regarded as a stereotype. Farnham was a disgrace, not only to himself, but to Texas and the entire human race. To think I had to impersonate him. I wish I was like you. You seem so content, so free of burdens.
Stop right there, partner. You think this old dog don't have ticks? Let me tell you something about my first wife. Woo-wee!
Once I had gained Farnham's trust, the hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him and not get myself killed.
Alt-X, I think, Moo, to clip things. Okay, so we can see it, and we know what not to say, and also not to say nothing. Hopefully we can get our way in the door this time and not have any more weird technical flubs.
What can I do for you, sir?
Howdy. My name's Howard M. Farnham II.
Okay. Should I know you? What can I do for you, sir?
Farnham was one hell of a drinker. I had to get the information out of him before he drank himself unconscious. Otherwise, I'd have to find that information myself.
Find the requested info before the timer runs out. Oh boy, the last time I had a timer on screen, I failed it multiple times, so let's see what we can discover.
They smell like a party.
Wait, there's something there, Blacksad. Yep, no, we're just gonna continue. It's one of his sports cards that he likes. Oh, just take your time.
Not even a Bible.
Okay, what's that on the top of the thing, though? The tongs?
At least it's comforting to know that when Farnham drinks too much, his female companions have less of a hard time.
And that's the end of our timer.
Well, I'm afraid I'm no mind reader.
Wait,
So we're going to see if we can get back into it, because this is the point at which it came back with no graphics. Also, Dr. Teflon is saying it was a double effort from
The
Penn...
hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him.
Okay,
and
this
not
is
get myself
absurd.
killed.
Okay, come on, though. Really? Hold on a second.
What can I do for you, sir? Well, I'm afraid I'm no mind reader. You have a good evening.
So, this is
Wait,
one of the more severe stability bugs or game bugs that I think that we've seen in the time that we have been streaming. What's happening is that every time we fail this sequence, it goes to a black screen and we cannot make any dialogue choices to proceed. And as we just saw, if we exit, then we have to do the entire preceding dialogue scene again. I'm not a big fan of having to redo this, so we are going to do our old standby of Googling it live. One thing that we've always done here is sort of shown games as they are. It's worth noting this is the PC version. I believe it's also available on Xbox One. I don't know if the Xbox One has any sort of issues here, but let's do Blacksad, black screen. Oh, look, it's an autofill on Google. Let's see about this. Crashing or black screen on launch. That's not quite what we're looking for. There's a patch from October 27th. Fixed an issue that could cause the game to display a black screen when Blacksad is walking with another character. Boy, this is irritating.
The hard part.
Oh, it's cool that it
deciding
brings
what
up
I
the
needed to know to
graphics for
become
just a heartbeat.
and not get myself killed.
Mooey's saying you love the Google autofill. Yeah, you know that it's not just you when you're having that trouble. So, I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to make one more really good swing at trying to get through this, but because the game
What
becomes
can I do for
unplayable
you,
after
sir?
every failed attempt, we're going to follow a walkthrough for this next sequence and see if we can get through it. So, I'm going to take a look at...
Well, I'm afraid I'm no mind reader.
You know what? Wait, I wonder if...
You have a good evening.
I wonder if I push a button at that point, because we know what to say. We just can't see to say it. So I'm going to hit A one more time, but then we're going to do Blacksad, walk through. Because unfortunately, this part of the game is
The
not
hard
going
part
to
was deciding what I needed to know to
tolerate
become
any
him
missteps
and not
because we
get
have to
myself
restart the
killed.
game every time. I'm going to try pushing B when this comes up. Oh boy, I'm not seeing a lot of super clear walkthroughs. I don't suppose Mia's here
What
because
can I do for you,
could
sir?
employ her help. I'm going to push B here.
Farnham was one hell of a drinker. I had to get the information out of him before he drank himself unconscious. Otherwise, I'd have to find that information myself.
This is absurd. Oh, I think I accidentally walked up to the drawers. You can hear them opening and closing.
Not even a Bible.
Oh, this is awesome. I don't believe I can pause at this point. This might be the last episode of Blacksad, because I am not about playing games that render themselves this difficult to play. Wow. Alright, well, let me see if we can find a walkthrough for exactly what to do at this point in the game, and then we'll do that and see if we can make it past the bugged part. The only issue will be not reading too far ahead. We're looking on neoseeker.com. It's got sort of a walkthrough of taking the case. Okay, no, this is good. Oh, and let's do, I'm going to look under table of contents, and... Okay, I'm going to say that we are in a part of the game of what they have deemed here as close shave on poker night. So... Okay, so here's what this says. Geek saying that. Okay, so Mia is driving, just arrived home, needs to wash her hands, but then she can help. Well, I think that we found it. So here's what we're going to do. This is live troubleshooting. And Teflon, I do see your comment there. I really wanted to read it, but we're sort of trying to make some forward progress here. So for anybody joining us in progress, the situation is we are in a point of Blacksad that if we make any missteps at all, the game then goes to a completely black screen and renders itself unplayable until we restart the game. So at that point, I say I'm going to cheat. So here's what we learn at neoseeker.com for this section called Close Shave on Poker. I'm going to be very careful about what we read here. When you meet Farnham outside his hotel room, make sure to tell him I work for Frank Cassidy. Choosing any other option will force you to restart. That appears to be false because I identified Blacksad as being a, like working for the hotel. But maybe we'll say that on the next time just to be, you know, consistent, because maybe that triggers a bug. Then you can tell Farnham whatever you wish about yourself. Next, when you're greeted by the barber Billy Bob outside the barbershop, make sure to choose try to remember. Choosing any other option will force you to restart. So that's as far as we've gotten now. You will enter a time sequence where you need to interact with the proper hotspot in Farnham's hotel before time runs out. Complicating matters is that there are some Hall of Fame cards to collect on the side, but you should have a second chance to get them in a much longer time sequence in just a bit, so hold off on them for now. Oh, cool. Multiple time sequences, everyone. This will be a lot of fun. Interact with the leftmost hotspot on the table. Choosing the correct hotspot will allow you to go into the barbershop without issues. So I'm going to try that. I'll tell you what, we're going to try that, and that's going to be as far as I read. And at that point, if the game crashes, it's kind of on the game. Like, this isn't even a crash. I don't even know what to say about this. So everybody hold on for 1 second. We're going to restart the game, go back in, do this dialogue again, and then see how far we can get. So I'll be right back. So Moo was asking, apart from moving past it, are you able to report a bug so they know there's an issue? I didn't see that option in the menus and stuff, but it's certainly something that we can take a look into. Also, Dr. Teflon had said earlier that this game was a double effort from Pendulo, which has years of experience in adventure games, and Ease. It was made on a very tight budget. And yeah, first of all, it looks very good, like visually. I like the visual design for a game that was made on a tight budget. I also think that the soundtrack and the voice acting are pretty good. Where the tight budget, I think, does show itself a little bit is in the controls. Blacksad, it's possibly the first game I can remember where I kind of feel like tank controls might be an improvement. Blacksad has a real sort of momentum to his movement where when he collides with something, it takes a second for him to sort of get out of it. Also, I just want to take a look under video. Do we think that there's anything in here that might... Well, I could switch it to full screen mode. That might help. Let's do that. Apply changes. Okay, and we're still visible to everybody, I hope. Everything else looks good. All right. All right, let's see if we have better success this time. Dr. Teflon also says, Microids, the publisher, is probably pouring all their money into Siberia the World Before, their biggest title outside of Amerizone from 2000. I have heard of the Siberia games. I don't remember if there's 3, I think, at this point. And did not otherwise know that there was a game coming called Siberia the World Before. That's new information. I think we own Siberia at least 1 and 2 and possibly 3 because they've been very inexpensive, but have not played them. That might be fun to do someday. By the way, it was between this game and like Kathy Rain. We were sort of in the mood for some kind of adventure game, and having seen some of this on Mr. Binky, I thought that this would be a good game, and I've been enjoying it up until now. And this is the thing about gaming. In a way that never affects you if you like books or movies or music, games can sometimes encounter technical issues that are very frustrating. So we're going to do what the guide said here.
What's going on?
Allow me to introduce myself.
I work for Frank Cassidy.
John Blackmore. I work for Frank Cassidy. He asked me to bring you these bottles so you could choose which one you prefer for the game.
Oh, sure. I was fixing to leave, but I guess them monuments ain't going anywhere. Well, come on in then.
Getting in Farnham's room was easy. Earning his trust was another story. I always have an ace up my sleeve.
Blackmore, you okay, partner?
The best way to earn someone's trust is to make them believe they've earned yours. And sometimes, the best way to fake it is to tell the truth.
A lot of difficulty talking over characters, even though we've already seen this twice before.
And no matter how hard I try, I just can't let go.
And those bastards paid for what they done to you, boy.
They paid.
Well, good. Honor's being restored, and sure enough, our
So,
good Lord...
Teflon, if I'm audible over these characters, I'm curious if you played the Longest Journey game, particularly the first one, The Longest Journey, because I enjoyed that game a great deal, and when we got Siberia, I was sort of hoping to have another experience like that. Is that what those first couple games are like?
Painting them with the shades of our preconceived notions of who they should be. But every once in a while, you run into someone so locked in personality that they can only be regarded as a stereotype. Farnham was a disgrace, not only to himself, but to Texas and the entire human race. To think I had to impersonate him. I wish I was like you. You seem so content, so free of burdens.
Stop right there, partner. You think this old dog don't have ticks? Let me tell you something about my first wife. Woo-wee!
So Teflon's saying that the Siberia games are a bit more puzzle-oriented than The Longest Journey, but they are a ride nonetheless. I would like to check them out.
Not get myself killed.
The only thing about it is that, like, the puzzle orientation of them, I'm concerned, would make it challenging to stream, because there's nothing quite like being at a dead standstill while you're trying to scratch your head and figure out, how do I even move forward?
What can I do for you, sir?
Okay. Try to remember.
Farnham was one hell of a drinker. I had to get the information out of him before he drank himself unconscious. Otherwise, I'd have to find that information myself.
Okay, so we're gonna... I'm debating whether or not I should read further, because I would feel really disappointed if we had to stop playing the whole game here. So... I'll tell you what, we're going to read through how to go through this scene, because let's envision that this is the only, like, technical hiccup that we have the whole time. Wouldn't it be sad if we didn't get to see the end of this adventure because we had a technical issue during this one specific sequence? And since we can't pause at any point here, we're going to have to read through it all the way. So we're going to interact with the leftmost spot on the table where you both drank whiskey across from Farnham's bed. Choosing the correct hotspot will allow you to go into the barbershop without issues. After the first dialogue option, sorry for the spoilers here, but I don't know how else to get through this, choose Try to Remember Again. During the flashback with Farnham, tell him you're in debt. You'll regain control of Blacksad inside the hotel room again for another time sequence. This is your second chance to collect any Hall of Fame cards you missed the first time, and fortunately have a little more time to grab them. Okay, so I really don't care about those. I mean, I do, but not when the alternative is fail. First, be sure to interact with the remaining hotspot in the whiskey table to learn about Farnham's hometown. Interact with Farnham himself on his bed, and you'll automatically trigger cat sense. And then we're going to want to check his hat, nose, tie, and belt, and a bank receipt deposit. Okay, and if time is running out, we have to do the bank deposit first. You know something? And then there's a whole other thing. I'll tell you what, if we make it through all that and then it crashes, then screw it. Okay, so we're just gonna try to power through this section. Leftmost hotspot on the table.
Yes, I got a Vietnamese shave last time.
Oh, please, come in. Of course, I remember you. Take a seat.
The nice thing about this guide is that it doesn't go into any detail about what happens, so this is all still...
I'm sure you'll understand we can't be too careful. Our host has many enemies, and someone has to keep them at bay.
Sure, I get it.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, please answer my question. How much does it cost to get yourself a clean Vietnamese shave?
Man, sure enough, booze put the nail on the coffin of my first marriage. You know, the wife that caught me cheating with the maid. My second marriage, too. You know what I did to her daddy? Same old with several mistresses. So I decided to stick to my guns and only deal with hookers, even if I did end up marrying some.
I feel you, Mr. Farnham. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm Cassidy's slave. He lent me the money for a game deposit, and I lost it all. Now I have to work off my debt.
Oh, Cassidy's not your problem, son. It's poverty. Sure enough, I had to pay my own deposit this morning to y'all, and that was just petty cash to me.
Petty cash, to be honest. I asked you how much.
Of course, they gave me my receipts. These are the things I am, boy. Wait, I'll show you. I gotta get somewhere. Just a sec. I'll get it. I just put it over. I think I'll be right back.
Very uncomfortable sleep with antlers. Okay, so we're gonna examine the last thing on the table.
Ding Dong? Interesting name for a town.
All right, and then I'm going to just pass on the collectibles so that I can try to interact with him somehow. There we go.
Nothing says Texan like a cowboy hat.
I don't want to risk it. We're going to go straight for the bank receipt. Blacksad, put on your glasses.
Why didn't you just say you had the receipt in your pocket? I'm almost certain, but tell me, who told you to come to this barber shop?
Try to remember.
Let me tell you a little secret about my first wife, sonny boy. When I met that woman, she had no manners, no money, Who in the hell? Farnham. My God, if it ain't the hero of the day.
All right, so I did look it up because I had a moment there while he was talking. So we're going to do this. Burp. Burp.
It's not going to be easy to sound Texan, but I'll give it my best shot.
I really like Blacksad's, Farnham impersonation. All right, and then we're supposed to look at his hand. Get in there.
I probably don't need to imitate his gestures during the game, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to try.
Okay, and that's as much as I've looked at.
With this and that hat, I'll really look the part.
I'll be damned.
Okay, so since this is not timed, we're gonna read further because I really don't want to fail this and then not be able to continue. You'll need to interact with the left closet right by the entrance to the hotel room.
Yes, sir. Sure enough.
Where-
Knowing Farnham, the owner of this bra only came here for business.
Anyway, Kenny, thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother. The craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
My good old friend Ken.
I don't know what it's showing on screen, but the game just straight up exited, as far as I can tell. What do you have over there? Oh, does it say it's still running? Can anybody in chat? Are we still live? Honestly, I have no idea. Doesn't look promising. The game is frozen. Okay, so on our screen, the game has completely closed. Timeout for just 1 second. All right, so we're going to see where it deposits us, and if it's back at the hotel room with talking to Cassidy, that, I think, will be it, at least for now, for Blacksad, which is very disappointing. I was having a good time with the game, but we seem to have hit on a sequence that simply will not complete. Moo saying the chat is live, the game is frozen, with them staring into the mirror. Yeah, this is... I cannot think... So we've been streaming for a number of years now. I cannot think of any other game that we've ever encountered that was simply impossible to proceed with. Yeah, if there were no checkpoints in there, and I suspect that there were not, then what we're going to do is bounce over to a different game. So let's see what we get here. If it's anything less than him walking up to the barber shop, then we're gonna call it.
Why
Oh
didn't
no!
you just
Look at
say
that.
you had the receipt in your pocket? I'm almost certain, but tell me, who told you to come to this barber shop?
Let me tell you a little secret about my first wife, sonny boy. When I met that woman, she had no manners, no money, no nothing.
I promise you guys I would skip this dialogue if it could be skipped. Yeah, I'm glad that it did checkpoint partway through. Can you imagine if it didn't and all of these were sort of auto fail or insta fail
God, if it ain't the
dialogue
hero of the
choices?
day.
All right. Face.
It's not going to be easy to sound Texan, but I'll give it my best shot.
Hand.
I probably don't need to imitate his gestures during the game, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to try.
Oh, hello to Tashir. Tashir, you're joining us at an unfortunate time in the game. This episode has been riddled with technical
With this
problems.
and that hat, I'll really look the part.
Which, unfortunately, I have to say is going to be important for people to know about if they see this and, yeah, like you would express interest in it. I have to say that
I'll be damned.
it seems to have some pretty significant issues.
Knowing Farnham, the owner of this bra
Yes, sir.
only came here for business.
Sure enough, I'm fixing it.
You know if there's anything else for us to look at while he's finishing up his conversation.
Boxing at the Grand. I'll be damned. Nah, just a few bourbons, that's all. Mixy. Anyway, Kenny, thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother.
Okay, so we can name drop Kenny there.
Craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
My good old friend Kenny. Craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
You know how many Kennys there are in New York? Kenny who?
So besides when and where the game will be, the password, and the money Farnham dished out, what else do I need?
It's cool the timer starts before you're allowed to start moving.
Luckily, there was only one Kinney in Farnham's address book, Kinney Eakes, residing at...
Cornell Plaza, Manhattan. Stunning penthouse.
I'm not surprised. Mr. Eakes has excellent taste. Do you happen to know what he asked for the last time he was here?
I guess we'll try to remember. So this is, I've now not read far enough. Basically, at this point, if we can't figure out a way to progress.
No matter how superficial someone may seem, there's always a way to win their heart.
Okay, I don't even know where I would start to. So do I just press B here?
Don't tell me, Billy Bob. This here is my new friend Farnham. Am I right?
Sure enough, your barber was fixing to give me a shave.
You can get a good shave at another time. Billy Bob is always at our beck and call.
Of course.
Hey, come on. Let's get in there before they finish all the bourbon without us.
I haven't frisked him yet, sir.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Mr. Farnham here, he's an honest Texan. And I'm sure he'll hand over his weapon if we ask him to. Right?
Sure, but you better take good care of my girl.
It'll be my pleasure.
Wow, was the gun the right thing to get? Yeah, so to share, unfortunately, it's more than optimization. The game has straight up crashed on a couple of occasions. It's disappointing because I've been enjoying it up until now.
Are in the safe. Now, we got a lovely night of poker ahead of us full of smoking and bourbon. So let's get started. Take a seat, Mr. Farnham. Let me introduce you. To my right, wearing gray boxers and weighing in at 140 pounds, the owner of Pink Vice, the largest meat market in all of Manhattan.
In other words, a real son of a bitch. No offense to the women he exploits.
Our reigning champion, Oswald Quince.
A title I aim to keep, provided our new contender here doesn't interfere.
Y'all are dealing with the worst player in Texas.
You're just trying to make me overconfident, aren't you?
Yes,
the
I
truth
was.
is that our friend Farnham owns the largest and, I dare say, most entertaining establishment in Texas.
Really? So we're colleagues then?
Yeah, you wish, Quince. He owns a casino.
Damn.
And it's not even in Austin or Dallas. It's actually in a little town called, what was it? Darn it. I looked it up the other day. Had a funny ring to it. I hate it when this happens.
I thought they moved all Texan casinos to Vegas, where gambling is legal.
You mean Ding Dong, Texas?
Ding dong! That's it.
Who the never think of a name like that.
Well, casino or no casino, let's just hope he doesn't keep as many aces up his sleeve as the late Ventimiglia, huh?
Amen.
To my left, wearing brown boxers and weighing in at 396 pounds,
Frank, show some respect, huh?
the hospitality tycoon, Polly. No.
Tycoon. I just own a small bar with pool tables. Clients drink close to nothing and play even less, but certain business transactions just couldn't happen anywhere else.
Damn it, Polly. Why don't I know your last name?
Because they took it away from me. You have no idea how good my ex-wife's lawyer is.
Women, they even take our damn names.
You're too much, Polly.
When you're done sightseeing, why don't you drop by La Iguana for a game of pool, and I'll buy you a drink. But I have to warn you, my clientele isn't crazy about furry fellas such as yourself.
Blacksad, you gotta fill that up. I have no idea how he feels about pool.
Thanks. I love me some pool.
Perfect. It'll be my pleasure.
You're looking to start your own pool business, Farnham?
I can't see
This guy
that.
here wants to start a boxing association in Texas. And guess who he's turning to for advice?
To be honest, several things got me worried, so I'd be much obliged for any counseling.
So, what worries you?
Rebel coaches like Joe Dunn.
Oh, I see you done your homework. That bastard wouldn't accept the most basic rules. For example, banning boxers from official competitions when the managers don't belong to my association. Hey, don't get me wrong, I'm sorry for his death. But if they ever find the murderer, I'd be glad to pay his lawyer fees. Billy Bob, bring out the bourbon. We're drying up here. I'll deal. With a fresh deck, of course. We respect traditions in this establishment.
Poker is as boring as it is simple. All you need to do is read people's faces. And even the worst detective has that trick up his sleeve. The real issue is knowing what to play for when there's much more than just money at stake.
Wait, how much money did we bring here? Did we steal a bunch of money from Farnham to gamble with? Because I don't care about losing his money. I guess we'll play to lose, because if there's any sort of skill-based thing to play to win, I'm gonna straight up fail.
Damn it! What again?
How many games have you won in a row, Quince?
And here I was hoping that Farnham would steal your championship belt.
Congratulations, Farnham. You're bad as hell, but at least you know it. Mark my words. Farnham will be calling his wife before the night is over.
Ha! Oh, hey, by the way, did you guys hear about Kenny's wife? Pretty tragic, huh?
What happened?
Oh, plain bad luck. Hey, but Farnham, I'm sure you know more about it than I do.
Anyway, Kenny, thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother. Craziest goddamn Texan in New York. And the poor fella's already got enough on his hands now that his wife. Women just gotta have their vices. She's in a rehab clinic now, hooked on tranquilizers and all that.
Drug overdose. Got it.
That's it, tranquilize. Don't tell me women don't have their vices, too. Bring out the bourbon, Billy Bob. Come on, give me the bourbon.
Maybe I spoke too soon when I said that poker is easy for a good detective. Even when you play to lose, it's best to win the occasional hand to avoid suspicion. But with Quince, it was just impossible.
Well, I'll be damned. I don't believe this.
See what we mean, Farnham?
I still don't get why you keep coming for more, boys. I'm starting to think you all lose on purpose. In which case, you're about to have a blast.
Poor Farnham. Came looking to make big bucks in the city with his boxing, and he's gonna lose it all with poker.
I hope your counseling will make up for it.
Yeah, so how can I be of help?
Those there athletes hooking up with each other, like Al Stone and Helen Moore.
I see you subscribe to What's News. Yeah, my star boxer, the reigning champion. He's having an affair with America's sweetheart. Hey, I got nothing against those two idiots falling in love. Don't get me wrong, but it's taking a toll on his performance. I don't think he'll lose against Yale, but I'm starting to worry a bit. You happy now?
Sure thing. Although, there is something else.
Come on, spit it out. I want to play.
Homicidal boxers like Bobby Yale.
Ha! That's some piece of news, huh? Hey, I don't know if he did it, but the real problem is that the fight against my champ Stone might not even frickin' happen. The good news is that I've almost convinced the governor to let him out of prison on the day of the fight. Under police escort, that is. I bet you the audience gets a kick out of that. Come on, let's steal another hand before Quince accuses us of trying to break his winning streak.
Ain't gonna happen. Gentlemen, I suggest you never tell your sons about this game, unless you want to lose their respect.
Wait, you mean our sons actually respect us?
I hear you. There's no way to set boys straight these days. They don't even respond to a good old beating.
See, we're like, Farnham's a piece of shit, right? So we're gonna go with B.
I dare say Texan boys do respond to a good beating.
Hey, careful, Quince. You're talking to a pro. So, Kenny told me you had quite a house full.
How many kids you got in that house full of yours?
We'll try to remember. Also, Chivalry Man, if you can scare away the tech issues, we will be happy for it.
No,
Fortunately...
that son of a bitch was about to choke on his own vomit. Sure, the sight of a millionaire choking on his own vomit had a certain poetic quality. Even so, I couldn't just stand there and watch him die.
Oh, wait, no,
Unfortunately, I didn't break a sweat trying to save him.
Oh, cool. That's not what I intended to have happen. Okay.
How many kids you got in that house full of yours?
All right, try it again. At least it didn't go to a black screen. So for people joining in progress, what was happening before is that anytime I failed anything, it would just go to a black screen, and the game would continue playing, but it stopped showing any graphics at all. Hopefully...
Sure, the sight of a millionaire choking on his own vomit
we've gotten
had a
past
certain
that now.
Poetic quality. Even so, I couldn't just stand there
so
and watch
B.
him die.
Okay.
No, deserving or not, the man would live.
Yeah, my thought is Blacksad is not a murderer. That's been pretty consistent so far in the way that we've been playing him. 5, 6.
6, well, that's something. I don't know how you deal with all of them.
All boys?
Does it have to be now?
Oh, never let Quince near one of your daughters.
Come on, Folly. Children are sacred. I won't lay a
Cassidy.
finger on them until they're 12. After that, well...
That's it.
Let's
Fucking
just
break
say
his neck. No, I'm done.
Some men have needs that can only be met by a young girl that age.
Nope.
If you know what I mean. Are you alright, Farnham?
Nope.
If you laid those dirty hands on one of my girls, I'd kill you myself.
You know what I should have done? I should have glowered. I bet we could prove that he was cheating. Oh, we could have gotten him shotgun.
What if that lovely 12-year-old girl was your sweet little niece, or my cousin Mike's niece? And what if she disappeared a while back? And what if she'd been taken to work uptown? In a brothel, huh? What do you think about that?
I don't know what you're talking about, Frank.
Don't you dare call me Frank. Billy Bob.
It's 500 more. Huh. For washing up.
It's a deal. Sorry for the spectacle, fellas. I had no idea the game would end like this. Please, take my tokens, and that flying scumbag's tokens as well. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some family matters to attend to. If you decide to go ahead with your new venture, call me Farnham.
Your behavior at last night's game was utterly insulting. Never contact me again, or I'll put an end to your pathetic life. If our common acquaintance should ask you about your business endeavors, tell him that boxing is too violent for you. Signed, Frank Cassidy. My own tracks would be covered the following morning when Cassidy read this note from Farnham.
Dear Mr. Cassidy, although I'm grateful for your kind help, last night's game made me realize that boxing is just too violent for a peaceful Texan like myself. I have decided to invest elsewhere. Yours sincerely, Howard M. Farnham II. Damn Texans.
I don't know how I feel about a game that drops that kind of plot point just as like a random aside.
As for me, it was the first time in days that I had gone to bed without my daily baby. A real shame. Nothing like a bruised body to help you to sleep like a baby. Maybe I should have given myself a beating. Blacksad.
Finally, I need you at the gym now, please.
It was like this when I got here.
All right, let's see.
Did you touch or move anything in here?
Only the phone.
Good. Calm down. I'll take care of this.
The thing about this game is that it's not hesitant about including some distressing subject matter. And when it has dealt with what we've seen in previous episodes with elements of racism, and then in episode 2 there was sort of a ramping up of the casual misogyny. As I said at the beginning of this episode, that felt like it was talking about it was including them as a recognition that they were elements of the society at the time period. These are all characters that look like animals, but the setting that they are in is unmistakably sort of late 1940s, possibly very early 19... I've never pinned down the exact year, but New York City. Regular New York City in the United States. They talk about New York, they talk about Alabama, they talk about Texas. I mean, the behavior of the individuals is unmistakably human from top to bottom. So it's not like a cute, fun allegory. It seems like they are telling a human story in a human city with characters that just happen to look a little bit different, and they're acknowledging what the culture of the time was. Where I feel like it suddenly crossed a line is, I don't know why we needed to have a story element there about child prostitution. It feels cheap and exploitative, and the game is not in any way pro that. You know, again, as we've seen on all of the other topics, it is the antagonists in the story that are engaging in these things. They're not presented as good things, but still, what am I supposed to have fun with this now? Like, I mean, we play games like this to have kind of an escape, right? And I don't know. That's kind of, it bothers me a lot. Yeah. Tashir's just saying understood. It's... I'll tell you what, let's go further. Let's see how it goes. It's... I don't know. I'm sort of locked in a position right now where I have a strong reaction to this, and I'm not sure that I'm able to articulate it in the way that I want to, and I feel like the mechanics of the game are, and the story, the primary story that it's telling is interesting enough. It's just like, yo, that could have been anything. That's the thing, man. It could have been anything else. It could have been any other thing, up to and including the fact that he was just straight up cheating at poker. Why did that have to be the place that they went to with this? Okay, let's let's move forward a bit and see.
Had you already finished looking through these papers?
I wish.
Well, I guess you'll enjoy sorting all this again.
What are you doing?
Do you like sardines?
Excuse me?
Do you like sardines?
Ugh.
Oh, hold on. We have a deduction that we can make.
Not that I suspected otherwise, but it's obvious they weren't looking for money. Looks like the burglar isn't interested in bureaucracy.
Did they take anything?
No, although...
There was a gun. Yeah, there was a gun in there.
When you went in the hospital room to get your purse, did you get the gun as well?
Yes. Isn't it there? I put it back. I'd rather not go through that again.
I don't think she's lying.
That's too bad. It looks like they took it.
If she's lying about the gun, then I don't know why at this point she would lie to Blacksad about the gun. That's why, like, there's no motive. There's no reason for her to be dishonest about it.
Bingo.
What is it?
Nothing. Just a freshly signed contract.
Footprint? Wait, where was there a footprint? Jim Burglar signed a document with his foot. Oh, I didn't see the footprint. Okay, so we do have new deductions, but I want to look around and talk. Okay, I guess I'll do my deductions out here.
Whose is that?
Mary Purnell.
You think she did this?
Well, she did have a cold, and the tissue smelled of sardines, so if she ate sardines and then, like, blew her nose because she has a cold. All right, let's do some deductions. No. Oh, wait, I don't have the detail about her having a cold anymore that I see. Okay, O'Leary is threatening Stone, the boxer, with ruining Moore's career. Moore's the tennis. But she has a cigarette case bearing a romantic inscription and a shamrock. The shamrock isn't a separate thing on here, is it? No. O'Leary keeps romantic... Wait. O'Leary keeps romantic pictures of Helen Moore in a drawer. Oh, that's right, he does. Okay. So... Stone is a clear favorite against Yale. Alright, let's do this and the cigarette case. No. Okay, let's do the cigarette case and the romantic pictures.
It's pretty clear that Helen Moore's cigarette case was a gift from O'Leary.
Helen Moore says that she hates O'Leary, but she clearly doesn't because she has the case. Helen Moore and Desmond O'Leary still in love. That's true, but how do we prove that? No. So we could do O'Leary's threatening Stone and the fact that they're still in love. That it's not actually a sincere threat, is my thought. Nope. Helen Moore says that she hates O'Leary, but they are still in love. Like, that's a clear contradiction. You think that would go together?
If she's still in love, why does she claim she hates him? What is she hiding?
Do we know if there's more deductions? Yes, there are. At least 3 more, apparently. O'Leary bet $5,000 on Yale, but based on the... Where's the other one? Right. He always plays it safe. He's threatening Stone with ruining Moore's career to fix the fight. And... Got it.
That cunning son of a bitch. O'Leary threatened Stone with ruining Moore's career so that he'll take a dive against Yale.
Alright, there may be some more deductions. sometimes Blacksad puts together things that it was like, oh, and then other things it's like, well, that I was picking up what you were putting down, game. Like I'm familiar. We're on board. O'Leary has a guilty conscience, ratting someone out when he was 14, someone who ended up dead. O'Leary used more to manipulate Stone, forcing him to take a dive against Yale. Mary's been at Yale's place recently. I don't know what the feet on the table mean at all, except that his shoes don't match the thing. Well, then again, do they? Let's look at this. Let's look at his feet. And because I did not see the footprint in the... Oh, yeah, look, it's clearly not the same shoe print. Not as O'Leary, but it is the same shoe print as the paint on the floor. Okay, apparently not. We could try this and sign a document with his foot. And then that's somehow not it. No. 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 Are we sure it's not this one? Yeah, pretty sure. Alright, so let's go with the points that we have. Who do the shoes belong to? The gym burglar signed it with his foot. O'Leary's feet on the tables, not his. No. Okay, we may not have the next portion to that. Yale is one of O'Leary's untouchables, according to his files. Huh. So when he says untouchable, that just means that he's incorruptible, or I'm not 100% sure yet. O'Leary used more to manipulate Stone, force him to take a dive against Yale, but the fight hasn't happened yet. And then he also has a guilty conscience. Let's compare his guilty conscience to his sign of dominance, which is... Yale's souls don't match. Oh, whoops. Slightly too late. Okay, let's do the untouchables. And then the fact that his souls don't match the footprints of the gym. No. There's at least two more in here is the fun thing. Avernius vanished after winning a fight back when Yale was a kid. Let's make that, let's compare that to the untouchables comment. Okay, so those two do go together. Oh, what if that's the guy that got ratted out? Haha, okay. And then... I don't know that we have the fourth part to this.
Maybe O'Leary accidentally caused the death of Yale's father. So now he tries to make up for it by secretly helping advance his career?
Well, did that with his girlfriend. See, like, that's an example of I hadn't put together that exact chain at all. O'Leary caused the death of Yale's father. Okay, now we probably have at least one more deduction to make. Okay, O'Leary caused the death of Yale's father and now rigged the fight to quiet his guilty conscience. Dunn's murder had it all carefully planned out. O'Leary's wife is having an affair with Colbert. I love that that's been added in here. And then who's the guy passing for Yale's doctor? I'm surprised that the tissue isn't in here, because I really thought that that was going to be a clue given the fact that she has a cold. Let's ask who's the footprints and who's the guy posing as the doctor. Nope. In terms of having it all carefully planned out, we know it's not Yale. Let's compare these two, even though I don't think they're new information for us. No. And then O'Leary's wife is sleeping around on him with Colbert, or at least was. I don't think that Colbert's going to be sleeping with anybody anymore. O'Leary caused the death of Yale's father. You think it would be pertinent to one of the new things that we discovered. So O'Leary caused the death. Then again. it was already on the list because we had 4, so maybe it's not any of our new details. The gym burglar signing the document with his feet. I don't understand why Blacksad is not comparing that out to the other footprint that he saw, because they look very similar. Look at it down there at the bottom. Dunn's murder had it all carefully planned out. Like, that is now back on the list, which is interesting to me. Yale's souls don't match. So yeah, we know that Yale didn't walk in the paint. O'Leary didn't walk in the paint, not with shoes like that. O'Leary's wife is having an affair with Colbert. Where does that... I don't know which of these things goes together. We might just start randomizing it, unless people have ideas. Dunn's murder had it all carefully planned out. True. I don't know which of these go together. Let me do a quick walk around here, and we'll see if there's like anything up on the roof, anything that might sort of spark an idea. A piece of jean fabric on the stairs that led to the gym rooftop. Jean fabric on a nail. Oh, she saw something. And then got chased.
Wait here, please.
So Mary came by to see Sonia and interrupted the burglar. Oh, crap.
If I were you, I wouldn't quit. Trust me, it might be painful at first, but time heals all wounds. Why did you listen to me?
Yeah, for people joining here, that's a piece of advice that I gave her, thinking that she wouldn't be in any further danger. What was the
Dear Sonia, I need to tell you several
things about your father. In fact, I know he would have wanted me to tell you. Among them, the fact that you co-own an apartment in Manhattan. Please call me. Yours truly, Mary Purnell.
What are we looking at?
Could be a knife wound. The murder was brutal. I want you to call the police, Sonia, and then go straight to a friend's house. Don't even think about going home, and definitely don't come back here.
I'm staying at a friend's house. I haven't even set foot in my father's place yet.
Good. Do you have the keys? If the murderer didn't find what he was looking for, that might be his next stop, if he hasn't been there yet.
Yeah, I definitely was not expecting Mary to be dead. I also contest the idea that Blacksad's recommendation to Mary to keep her job at the gym was what caused her to die. It seemed like she was coming by to drop off a note for Sonia, that it wasn't
Once I
directly
had the keys to the place,
related to her
which
employment.
meant I wouldn't have to use my lockpicks or...
Hello to Patikin and everybody raiding over. Whoops. I've had a really good time with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I think it was Moo just earlier in this was saying that that she's been consulting with Google sometimes about some of the bugs. Patikin, have you had any bug issues with Valhalla so far? Oh wait, locked from the inside. Wait a second. I wasn't even necessarily paying attention. The door was locked from the inside, and Joe Dunn was not here, obviously, when he was killed at the gym. So who was in here that threw the chain on the door?
I see more art in a boxer's hypnotizing footwork than in certain modern paintings.
Patikin's saying that he's seen some bugs, but nothing really game-breaking. I hope you guys had a great time. We are playing, so we should probably pause for just 15 seconds here to say that we're playing Blacksad, Under the Skin. It is a detective noir game set in the 1940s, and as we've been discovering across these episodes, it occasionally delves into some fairly heavy topics, including the heaviest so far. So viewer discretion is advised, I would say here. It may look like fun cartoon animals having a detective thriller, which is certainly what I thought. It has a tendency to delve rather suddenly into much more serious topics, and it may be, you know, hopefully we won't see a repeat or like a further delving into today's topics, but just, you know, be aware, not for the kids.
Look at that. The guy sure had good taste.
Yeah, and let it be noted, because this episode has been marked by some rather serious technical issues. Like, Patikin, you said game breaking. Like, we damn near encountered a serious game breaking bug in this game for this episode. So that can be really...
Looks like Dunn had already begun to move his things.
Disruptive. We should really look around to see if there's anybody else in the house, though.
Dunn? Thorpe? No idea. And these two, they look familiar.
It seems like we've gotten through the worst of the technical issues, and what I would want to say about this game is that I really do like the way that it looks, and I like
It's hard to believe that a pair of boxing fists could play something like this, although I'm sure he had the lungs for it.
The voice work and the music I really like in this game a lot.
As I glanced at the telephone, I remembered the weekly password for O'Leary's illegal gambling operation. Even though I had rejected his reward for telling him about Colbert and his wife, I had managed to make my own dirty money after the Eagle Pimp suddenly quit the poker game. How much damage could a small bet do? What harm could I do? Only the invisible type.
Patikin's saying that his advice to anyone who plays Valhalla is to save before each side quest or any quest just to be sure, but he's only had side quests not working like they should, and not that many, and usually just reloading makes it work. Yeah, I will attempt to, you know, as we've seen in this episode here, I will make a reasonable attempt to work around a technical issue. And thank you, by the way, to Moo and Tashir and Mia and Chivalry and others who were very patient through that section. Dr. Teflon.
Ready-made meals on airplane trays in front of the TV. Who would have thought we'd end up eating like this?
Geek Pantheon has been lurking as well.
4 days ago, and that lettuce still looks okay.
Okay, and that's apparently all we can see in here. Yeah, there was a... Well, hold on. We're going to get more dialogue here.
Sardines. It's been open for a few hours.
Okay, so can I now compare the sardine cans to the tissue that smells of sardines? Blacksad really needs to pay attention to the fact that the door was locked from the inside. Okay, so the empty can of sardines, followed by the paper tissue that smells like sardines.
It's pretty clear that the burglar came by the house before heading to the gym, which means he probably didn't find what he was looking for in here.
All right, there's at least one more deduction to make, but that's the one that I'm having trouble with so far.
Of course. Now I see how Dunn bought the apartment he was going to share with Mary. This place has to be empty in 2 weeks for the new owners. I wonder if Sonia knows about this.
We'll try to do a thorough search here. All right, got it. Hall of Fame. We're not going to have half these cards because we left a lot of them behind in Cassidy's place. Panda says that they want sardines now. I don't think I've ever had a sardine. Fish and me are, you know, I'm real hit or miss. Sometimes I'll have fish and it's like the best thing ever, and then I'll have fish and it's like, oh, this is too much. It's too much with the fish. We're just going to continue, I think. And A.
What's this doing here? One of the very few teen idols who only got better with age.
Did Sonia didn't live with her dad, though, did she?
Could this be the origin of Sonia's interest in business management?
There was something on the floor as well.
Another empty closet.
Oh, see, that's nice. She's also a way better artist than I am, even today. My dear Mary, I bring you to this rooftop, the place where... Oh, he was proposing. That's right, he gave her the ring. Oh, and he had several different versions of it. I bring you to this rooftop where the love I feel for you was born to give you this ring and...
This is too private.
Panda's saying that sardines are good on crackers with mustard.
Still look at her every morning, so many years later, with a new love? Maybe we don't need to forget. Maybe pain just transforms into, I don't know, something.
Also, Blacksad, the glass on it is broken. Like it... Maybe this is how the crook got in and out. Yep.
Is this how he got in?
All right. I thought there might have still been somebody like lurking around inside the apartment that was going to jump Blacksad, but it seems like that's gone. Oh, look, Starry Night. No, not quite.
Elaine. I think that was Dunn's wife's name, according to Jake.
I'm gonna have to figure out that deduction. It's not gonna let us go on forever.
Could Dunn really afford such luxuries? Or did he only want to impress Mary?
Yeah, we had I gotta say, I preferred the record music that we had going on before. Oh wait, there's something up there on the shelf. Can you turn on the music again? Okay, that's the way out. Obviously, we don't want to go there. That really feels like a Dunn poster. Oh, maybe Dunn's nickname?
Wasn't Dunn's nickname the Quiet Lynx? I'd swear I saw that on a poster at the gym.
Okay, and I think we saw everything down here. I'm surprised he can't look. Oh wait, there was something on the table. I'm surprised that he can't look out the window where the broken window and see what's down there, because you would think that there might be some clues as to who broke in. Wait, did I look at this book? No.
No matter how hard I look, I'm not getting anywhere. I need to talk with Sonia, and maybe with her uncle Tim.
Oh, okay.
It brings back... I don't know.
Blacksad was also at war, so...
Bad memories?
A pessimist, are we? It's like remembering the last day of summer. Scenes full of joy, picturesque landscapes, and yet the light is faint and the air is still, the calm before the storm.
I know that feeling.
I figured that much. I can see it in your eyes. We met in the Army. We were all professional athletes. They called us the Olympic Five.
What about you?
I had just signed with the Milestones. I hadn't even played my first game, but people said I had a bright future ahead of me.
And you did. The cop at the hospital sure seemed happy to be the proud owner of a Tim Ironarm Thorpe autograph.
Who would have thought that I'd end up becoming Tim Iron Legs Thorpe?
What happened?
I fought the Nazis for 2 years, up there in the sky, over Europe. And I never set foot in a field hospital. 3 years later, I crossed the street without looking. And look at me now.
Was Dunn already boxing?
Yes, he was. I had already seen him fight before I even met him. He was as humble in the ring as he was in life. He'd always let his rivals take the initiative. I remember how he barely dodged the blows. If you didn't look at his feet, it seemed like he wasn't even moving. And the footwork, pure dancing. You could almost hear the music. The song would play until his opponent was exhausted. Then came the drum roll, followed by Dunn's victory by KO.
Hey, isn't that Craig Spano? The guy on the Morley's billboards?
Yes, indeed. Our captain. He was the oldest, after all, and star of the New York Warriors. He was an orphan, you know. But he loved the sport so much that he said baseball was his family.
Who's the guy on the left?
Ah, Victor Sukovsky, the athlete. You've probably heard of his medals.
I suppose I have.
Who's the guy on the right?
Angus Mitchell, our combat medic, and a doctor with the New York Warriors, which is how he met Spanow. It was Spanow who got him assigned to our platoon.
What happened to all of them?
Zhukovsky died the same day they injured Dunn. Dunn received an honorable discharge and came home. He quit boxing and opened his gym. Mitchell was redeployed to a field hospital. Spano and I continued in the same unit, but nothing was ever the same. You see what I meant with the last day of summer. And after the war, well, who the hell cares?
I do.
So, do not adjust your screen if, this is, so the particular saying blurry face. Yeah, the depth of field in this game just sometimes wigs out and is apparently focusing on some point that is not in frame, so everything just looks super blurry, and I don't know why that's a thing. I've never, ever seen a game that did this before. So Spanow's glove was in Sophia's room, so that's who we're going to ask about.
What happened to Spano?
Well, you've seen the billboards. He made it big time. When I was forced to retire, I got him some advertising deals. That's how I founded this agency. But then, something happened to him. He became sullen. He fell out of shape, and slowly but surely lost touch with reality. He withdrew from public life and broke off our friendship. Haven't heard from him in, 3 years? And believe me, I've tried to contact him.
You think Spano might have been involved in Dunn's death?
Spano? No way. He and Dunn were always... Well, Spano's changed so much that it's hard to say.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to face cam me. Nope. We'll just make everything look super blurry until we do face cam.
What happened to Mitchell after the war?
Mitchell? Who knows? We lost touch. I hope he's doing well.
So I'm betting that the lizard guy, I don't know if it was Mitchell or Spano. I think it's Mitchell. I bet he was the fake doctor that we encountered.
I think I saw Mitchell not too long ago, but I can't remember where.
Is this a fake doctor?
Please try to remember. I'd love to hear from him again.
I'll do my best.
Allow me to double your wage. You have to find the murderer. Maybe Dunn stayed in touch with Mitchell or Spano. Maybe even with both. But he never told me anything. Maybe Sonia knows.
I doubt it. But that's not the only question I've got for her. May I?
We're going to try to work out that last deduction before the end of the episode, which we will have to wrap up relatively soon because we want to do game night with the peeps.
She's not here. Who's calling?
Where is she?
Oh, can you not sit on the edge of the building? Cool, we'll just both do it now. Okay, don't do it. She's not thinking about anything other than her everything.
Was your father still in...
Have you ever wished you'd never been born?
What? Yeah, sometimes.
Then we're both in the same boat. First time was right after moving to New York. I hated my mother. She was the reason we moved from the countryside and the smell of freshly mowed grass to this dirty city and the smell of medicine. Her medicine. The second time was after she died. I hated myself for having hated her before, for not having loved her enough. The third time was when my father shut himself off. I hated him for that, for abandoning me, for giving in to the booze. Now he's dead, so take a guess.
You've realized just how much you really loved him.
I guess so. But that's not the worst of it. The problem is I don't know how to live without hating him. Over the last few years, Everything I've done was meant to push my father far away. To avoid being like him. To avoid making his same mistakes. Without him, I just don't know who I am. And you won't even let me hate Bobby, which might actually help me.
Bobby Yale is innocent. He doesn't deserve your hate.
Don't you think I know that? I need someone to blame. Without that someone, I have only myself to hate.
I'll find the person who did this. I promise.
Let me have my doubts. Although, you've already come so far. I'm sorry I haven't been a little more grateful.
In any case, you shouldn't hate yourself. You are... No, you have such good qualities. You're as smart as you are kind.
That's what my father used to say. Why would you think that?
You try too hard to hide the latter, but I'm a detective.
Anyway, can we just drop the subject? Did you go to my father's apartment?
Yes, the thief went there before coming to the gym, which leads me to believe he didn't find what he was looking for.
And what was he looking for?
That's what I intend to find out, with your help.
Batigan was recommending adding Left 4 Dead 2 to game night. Yeah, there's actually been some conversation in that about that. I have not played Left 4 Dead 2. Only ever played the first one and liked it a great deal, so I think it'll be fun. I'm reading through the options. Like, part of me wants to connect with her over the fact that her father had great taste in music, but then again, is that just going to be like a really painful memory? Like, that's the one that I want to say, we're going to go with that, but I'm concerned that it might not be received in the way that is intended.
Your dad had great taste in music.
You think? Let me guess. The same taste you have, right?
Exactly.
You don't know how happy that makes me.
Okay, that's good.
I found a picture taken during the war.
The Olympic 5.
Did you meet any of them, besides your father and uncle?
Well, Uncle Tim actually isn't my uncle.
No?
He and my father loved each other like brothers. Did he tell you that he saved his life?
Thorpe saved your father?
They were flying over Brittany in a 3-unit fighter plane. Zukovsky was the pilot, my father was the co-pilot, and my uncle manned the machine gun. Suddenly, enemy fire killed Zukovsky and injured my father, which is why he never boxed again. My uncle jumped out of the gun turret, ran to the cockpit, and managed to pilot the plane to safety. Oh, the times my father told me that story. And now...
Did you ever meet Mitchell, the doctor?
Mitchell? The lizard? No, never. Why?
Oh, nothing. I think I've seen him somewhere. Did you ever meet Spano? What can you tell me about him?
I think I saw him once, but I was just a little girl. I think my uncle turned him into a star. That was a long time ago.
I found a baseball glove with Spano's autograph in your room.
Oh, I've never seen it. My father must have put it there. Although I don't remember him having a signed glove.
Okay, the burglar left it there then. Somebody broke in and left behind a signed glove in her room. Thinking that she'd go there because it's her father's place. And he'd have to go there, she'd have to go there to settle up the affairs. So she would go there and find the signed glove. To what end? It's not possible. I'm wondering if there's like I'm wondering if Joe Dunn wasn't her father, is what I'm thinking.
Your father sold his apartment, The new owners move in 2 weeks.
What?
I'm sorry. I think he used the money to buy a new place with Mary Purnell. The letter you're holding explains the rest.
I wish I'd had the chance to talk to her.
Because I can think of any other motivation for somebody to sneak in and leave something like that would at least theoretically have some value, too. It's weird. The glove, I mean.
I saw your old room.
That's embarrassing. Stop, or I'll end up hating you.
Did the abacus inspire you to dabble in finances?
The most useful gift anybody has ever given me.
A gift from your father?
From my Uncle Tim. He used to say that in this day and age, a woman should know how to count. My father didn't agree, but he didn't oppose it either. People thought he was a liberal because of his attitude towards racial issues. But at home, things were different.
I'm also a fan of Frank Papalia.
Oh yeah, the poster. I only liked him because my father thought he was too modern. But I'm glad we agree. I thought you shared my father's taste in music.
It's odd that there are practically no toys or memories of your childhood in the room, except for a small music box.
That box? It might just be my last happy memory. It's from before my mother got sick and we moved here. I loved reading stories about pirates. So my father drew a treasure map for me. I searched the whole house, one clue at a time. It led me to this enormous tree in the yard where Daddy had put up a tire swing. X marks the spot, so I dug to find my treasure. I loved the music it played, the ballerina, and the little secret compartment. Oh, the secrets I kept in there.
I think it's the first time I heard you call your father Daddy.
Really?
I don't think we found a secret compartment when we interacted with the music box, though.
Are you cold?
A little. Maybe I should go. Anyway. Thanks for the company.
Sonia, thank you.
Aren't you coming?
I knew I was looking at a solution, but what exactly needed solving?
All right, we know that there's at least one thing, actually 3 things in here. So far the shoes aren't leading me anywhere. So Dunn hid a music box under the swing tire tree. I don't know what that helps us out with. During the war, they were known as the Olympic Five. O'Leary's wife is having an affair with Colbert, which seems totally unrelated to anything else that's happening right now. The gym burglar signed a document with his foot. Mary's been at Yale's place recently. Yep, that's the scarf on the wall. I don't know how that helps us. At Dunn's place, there's a picture of a tree painted by his wife. Okay, so that's where the music box was buried.
Maybe Dunn used the same hiding place once more. I'll never understand why detectives and criminals bluster while they fight each other in the pictures. What a waste of breath, focus, and energy.
I pressed so much X. Beep, 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 beep.
It's not the lack of credibility in the screenplay that bothers me. Plus, it's actually pretty handy. When a crook talks to you in the middle of a fight, you know you're up against a rookie.
We need him.
And if he doesn't even say, "Help me, please,"
we need him alive. So what we'll probably do, that is actually, I think, a pretty good capper to put onto the end of the episode. Deacon saying that he saw the clip that Tashir put up on Twitter. Yeah, are you going to play Gotham Knights? That is a good... I enjoyed that very much as well. So we're going to call it here. Blacksad has been an interesting adventure so far. I don't know... I know that I've talked off-stream about this, but I don't know if we've put a pin on stream. I talked a couple times about the fact that I'd seen a very, very, very small amount of Mr. Binky play this, and I thought that the art style looked good, and I liked the voice acting. I was like, okay, this seems like a narrative-based game that I would want to play. Having delved into it, I will say the following things. You look at it and you say, okay, this is going to be a fun detective romp in a world of animals, and maybe they'll occasionally or thoroughly acknowledge the fact that, you know, dogs and cats and aardvarks and Rottweilers and eagles and all the rest. But I was unexpected both for the fact that they're all animals is almost completely perfunctory, and outside of a couple drops, they just don't really discuss that. And if anything, it feels like it serves to obscure the fact that the story itself is very adult, and in every episode so far has gone places that most games just don't go, and that can be kind of impressive for its willingness to tackle some hard subjects like what the culture was like back in the 1940s, and sometimes it can feel like it goes somewhat too far, as it did in this episode. And when that bothers me, I start to think like, okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but anything can have a misstep. Anyone can have like the wrong word or the wrong phrase that they use, and maybe it, I would like to see this through. It is probably one of the games that we've ever streamed that I have the most complicated feelings about, because there's things about it that I really admire in terms of like the deduction system and how complicated the story is and how much faith it has in the player to keep up with all of the characters and all the motivations and everything else. And then there's some things that are just like baffling missteps, like the fact that the depth of field will just make it look like Blacksad has rubbed Vaseline into his own eyes for no reason, and everything's just super blurry in a scene that is clearly a small technical bug and seems like something that should be relatively easy to patch, or just go into the options and turn off the depth of field. But it's just odd. This is a very, very odd game. So, I don't... One of the reasons that I want to finish it is I want to complete this game. I want to have my thoughts on it. And then I want to see how I feel about this game 2 weeks after. Have you ever had a game or movie or television series that you encountered, and no matter what you thought of it at the time, then after you'd had a little bit of time to cook on it and to look at it in retrospect, your opinion on it became much more clear after I had some time to settle in. And that's sort of where I'd like to get to with Blacksad. I don't want to leave this unfinished, so I'm very relieved that we were able to make it through the technical issues that we saw earlier. And if that's the only technical problem in the game, then we will talk back on that as being a, hey, remember that was a super crazy episode. If we have a lot more technical issues like that, then I will shelve it and we will move on to something else, because I can deal with questionable writing and uneven game mechanics and difficulty spikes and some of the rest, but you lose me a bunch of progress from if you replay the same section over and over and over again, not because I'm bad, but just because the game is unsteady, and I can lose interest in that real quick. So, like I said, complicated feelings. Thanks again to everybody for bearing with us through this, through the technical issues and so forth. Huge thanks to Patikin for raiding over, and hopefully we made for some, interesting look and conversation coming off of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Tashir says, hopefully we're over the glitches, and he'd love to see this through. Yeah, so would I, for reasons previously discussed. The further, it's going to be one of those games where no matter what at this point, I think it would be challenging to recommend to other people because of some of the issues that we've seen. It's one of those things would be like, no matter how I feel about it, like at the absolute best at this point, be like, oh, I really liked it, but here are 4 things you need to know going in. Chief among them, my God, like Moo was in here earlier, may still be in here, and talking about how her son might see it and want to play it because her son likes cats. And at the time I was like, I don't think that you might want to look at it. And after the events of this episode, no, don't let your kids play this game. It goes places that you don't want your 10-year-old kids to visit for ever. Okay, so let's go find somebody fun to raid, but we will be back at twitch.tv/morethanamia for some Bridge Crew shenanigans, hopefully in just about 20-25 minutes. So we will see you there. Until next time, you guys. Oh, and on my way out, because it's been so busy lately, and I haven't done the sort of shout-outs that I should. I've been enjoying the music in this game, and it's very much, setting the scene. But if you were looking for music to have over your own streams, where the music might be incidental and less critical to the feel of it, I do hope that you guys will check out Streamer FX. It has a variety of different options there, including streamer radio, where it will play a good circulation of different songs that are by independent artists who work with Tashir Rizé. It is all royalty free, so you need not worry about getting in trouble on Twitch or having any of your VODs interfered with. So that's really good news. And at the and some of the tiers, you can play the music that you want, but really all of it is so good that it is worth checking out. We should not be this deep into 2021 without having brought that up as well. Yeah, Panda. It's a complicated game, and I can't think of an age group that I would say you're really gonna. The only people that okay, I need to move on, because otherwise I will spend the entire evening critiquing Blacksad, and it's not done yet. There is more game to go. I will say that I do feel like we are into the back half of the game at this point, so we will. It would not surprise me if we were done with Blacksad between now and the weekend, but it does depend a little bit on our schedule. We probably will not have an opportunity to stream tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, so I expect that we will see you again on Thursday. Let's go find somebody fun to raid, and we'll see you guys again in a short time at twitch.tv/morethanamia. And until then, I hope you guys have a great day.